my name's Steve. I've spent 29 years on planet Earth. I've spent over 10 of those years making hockey videos on the internet, and yesterday I played my first ever hockey game. That's right, I played my first 4 hockey games ever at the Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classic in support of Easter Seals. Easter Seals is a charity that, as my jersey says it, is helping kids with physical disabilities succeed. I can attest to this because I went to Easter Seals camp with my sister, who has physical disabilities, when I was younger, and also my parents. It was a fantastic experience, one I still remember, and they treated my family very well. So when Ken Reid, you might remember him as that lovable Eastern Canadian scamp who's on television and sometimes on the Steve Dangle podcast, asked me to be part of this tournament, I said yes. I get to finally play hockey, I get to support a good cause, and I get to play with NHL alumni. Yeah, okay. How many people can say they got to play their first hockey game with an NHL player? Our team name was Moose Power. These were our jerseys. We were basically the Dallas Stars. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I got my number 10. And by my number 10, I mean Alex Steen's number 10. If you've been watching a while, you know why. The NHL alumni that we had on our team was Denis Marouk. I'm sure a lot of you are going, who's Denis Marouk? You can read all about him in Denis Marouk, the unforgettable story of hockey's forgotten 60-goal man, in stores now. I got to play my first hockey game with a player who scored 60 goals in the NHL. Denis wasn't the only guy on my team either. We had a decent Sportsnet presence. Brendan Dunlop was on my team. Ken Reid, obviously. Can we talk about Reid's bucket? Okay, can I say bucket now that I've finally played a game? Can I say bucket? It wasn't just Sportsnet folks on our team. We also had Canadian actor Boomer Phillips. He was in Goon 2, Last of the Enforcers. Letterkenny, he was in an episode of Handmaid's Tale as well. Season 1, episode 10. Thanks, IMDb. So anyway, I've been talking about hockey my entire life, and I've been telling people that they're bad at it for their entire life, with apologies to Roman Polak. How did I fare? Well, let's start with the night before when my buddy dropped off his equipment because I don't have any. That's not true. I've played shinny before, like maybe 2 or 3 times. I have a helmet, I have gloves, I have sticks, and I have skates. Oh, and a jock. I'm bad at hockey, but not stupid. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the bag, and I don't know how to put this stuff on. Seriously, I really need to give you an idea of how clueless I was. I don't know how to put on a full set of hockey equipment. I know how now. Bottoms first, kids. It is so much equipment. I'm just wearing it all, looking in the mirror after, like, oh, this is why hockey's expensive. What other sport has that? Lacrosse just standing there like, oh, fine, I don't even exist. But I put it all on, we figure it out. My wife and I didn't have to do that much YouTubing. I know. And I felt confident. Before I can play the hockey games, there's the draft party. Basically, everyone who signed up for the tournament goes to the draft party, which happened to be in Oshawa, which is awesome, and the highest earning team gets to pick first, as in they get to pick the first player in the draft. But there were so many other names to choose from: Wayne Primo, Steve Thomas, Nick Antropov, Al Iafrate, Mike Krushelnitsky, Denis Marouk, obviously. John LeClaire was there too, if you wanted to split up the Legion of Doom and just have Legion versus Doom. We didn't get to pick first, but we did get Denis Marouk, so who really won here? Now, I saw the schedule for the games that were supposed to be the next day, and I saw 8, 11, and 1. Now, if you've ever played shinny, and I only have a couple of times, you know, yeah, sometimes you gotta play late. Ice is only available very late. One of the 2 or 3 shinny games that I've ever played started at midnight. So when I saw 8, 11, and 1, I go, oh, like 1 a.m.? Wow, that's pretty late, but I'll do it. Pro tip, turns out charity hockey tournaments for children are not set up to go till 1 a.m. And as soon as my teammates told me that, I said, uh-oh. So my Friday workday is shot. I had an LFR video to do for a late game that didn't even start until 10. I had an era-adjusted piece to write for Sportsnet. I was supposed to do a TV hit. That's out. But I said, no, I have to completely bite the bullet and rearrange this day. I am not missing this tournament. So that night, I wrote my article throughout the Leafs game, and then as soon as the game ended, I whispered the LFR, which you can see as the last video, and got it to bed at around 4 a.m. And then got up at 6:30 a.m. like, oh look, blood! By the way, Christmas Cup, someone get these guys a calendar. But I get there, put on all my equipment, and as we are about to get on the ice, I go, this is it. I'm about to play my first hockey game. And I'm sitting on the bench as the game started, and the second the first shift starts, I go, oh my god, I'm in so much trouble! I thought this was a mess-around hockey tournament. All these guys are flying out here like freaking Gretzky. And I told everybody who would listen, especially the players on my team, look, this is my first game, okay? Do not expect me to be good. We had one guy who was even close to my level, and the team understood. They were great about it. The other team never got that memo. I fell down twice on my first shift, was a -2, and to make matters worse, when I got off the ice and tried to sit on the bench, I tripped over the bench and fell down again. We're losing 6-1. I'm a -7 somehow. I don't even know how I pulled that off, but we're having fun, right? So, First impressions. I've played mess around shinny once or twice, but this was like actual reasonably competitive hockey. If you don't know how to skate, you're screwed. I've had someone tell me the only way to get better at skating is to do it, and if you want to get better at hockey skating, you gotta play hockey. They have a point. Because once you're out there, you start to realize there is so much moving back and forth. I can do loops around the ice at like a public skate. I'm not that bad. I'm not Bambi falling down the second I touch the stuff. But in the middle of a game, you realize how much stopping and starting there is. But when you can't stop on a dime, go laterally or backwards either, it's pretty limiting. They say legs feed the wolf, and I was one hungry wolf. On my third shift, I know, I'm surprised they gave me 3 either, I managed to get the puck, saw Denis Maruk coming from behind the net, and I made a pass. It went straight into his feet, but he managed to corral it and get it, and I completed a pass to 60 goal scorer Denis Maruk. And you know what? For the rest of the game, I didn't fall down again. Managed to stand upright on the bench too. Our team got a couple goals, our goalie made a couple big saves. Many of those shots partially caused by me, I'm sorry. Our team lost 8-2, but it was a lot of fun, and game 1 was in the books.
How would you say your first game's going?
It was great, unless you have footage.
Must have gone into Hockey Central.
Playing with friends, supportive friends, playing with an NHL player, a very supportive NHL player, actually pulling off a pass, which for me was a huge plus, and finally getting that first one under my belt. It was a thrill. Look, a lot of people get this opportunity when they're a very little kid and they don't even think about it. Some people do remember their first game, or maybe they have some pictures of their first game, get a little my first game puck or something. I don't know what you get. But I never got that experience, and for the longest time I've been wondering what this will be like. I gotta say, pretty good. Second game we won't talk about too much. At one point in the game, someone accidentally fell down. There was some anger there. Then the next time someone fell down, it was accidentally on purpose, and then there may or may not have been a 2-hand slash followed by an almost line brawl. And I'm sitting there watching all of this unfold, and in the back of my mind I'm going, please don't go after the guy who's too slow to get away. But it was still fun. Most of us shook hands after the game, and we still lost 8-2.
No, this is my second one. I played this morning. We actually got beat worse than this, believe it or not. So these guys aren't nothing. The way I see it, we're improving. We're a developing franchise. They're trying to make me into a Celtic candidate. I'm going to do that. Just do what the coach says. Give it 110%.
Third game, a little more evenly matched. And this was great. I was on a line with Brendan Dunlap, and he goes, you know what, you want to take some face-offs? You want me to play center? No, no, just take a couple face-offs. Ref even looks at me like, you gonna take a face-off? I get down there like, yeah, I am. Just do this, okay? Drop it. And wouldn't you know it, I got a penalty. I'm just kidding. Ref drops the puck, and I lose it cleanly. It was brutal. But I won the next one. And you know what? I won the next one, too. I went 3 for 6 in the dot, thank you very much. Where is my contract? All I remember is one of the face-offs I won was a clean forehand sweep right onto the stick of Denis Maruk. Again, that was one of the top 3 things I did on the day, and it was to an NHL player. I won a clean face-off to an NHL alumni. It was a close one. We had him. We were close. I think it was like 3-3 at one point, but we ended up losing 6-3, officially making us the Leafs. So we're sitting there at the end of our third game, and I was like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. That was a great day. And then someone walks in the room with this. They hand me this stick, autographed by Eric Lindros, and now it's autographed by Denis Maruk, and also Rick Natras, and they tell me that I'm playing in the All-Star game. Because thanks to you guys, I was actually the top fundraiser on my team. In fact, I'm still getting donations today. As recently as about an hour ago, I'm up to $2,900 plus. I'm gonna cross 3,000 if you guys let me. They haven't closed the link yet, so I'm gonna put the link down below. Keep donating. Easter Seals could use it. So what the All-Star game was, they take 2 teams, they split up NHL alumni evenly, and the rest of the rosters are filled out with the top fundraisers from each team. I get in the dressing room. My All-Star team has got Maruk, so that was nice and comfortable. We had Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, Rick Natras, John Druce, Troy Crowder was another one. And I'm just sitting there, not looking too closely, you know, because it's a locker room and everything, and I'm just going, what is life right now? That's Lindros! I go out onto the ice, there's a red carpet and everything. And the reason they had the red carpet, by the way, was they had 4 kids associated with Easter Seals come out and drop the ceremonial first puck. We lined up at both blue lines, and they announced everybody's names, including mine. They go, Steve Glenn, and I'm like, By the way, my real last name is Glenn. I feel like most of you should know that by now. It says so on my nameplate. By the way, they gave me a nameplate for my locker too. This was the best day ever. It was the best fantasy camp for me. And by for me, I mean charity, Steve. Come on. But again, I'm standing on the bench and I'm just like, that's Lindros. That's Leclerc. One shift, Leclerc feeds Lindros a beautiful pass for a goal. And when they get back to the bench, Lindros says to Leclerc, I miss you. Oh, and I should mention, so I was on my team. The other team was made up of top fundraisers and Leafs alumni. So I want to reiterate, I grew up a Leafs fan, a childhood Leafs fan, and my 4th hockey game ever, on the first day of hockey playing ever, was against the Leafs. Steve Thomas, Mike Johnston, Antropov dangled my jock off. It was pretty surreal. On my first shift, I'm covering the left point there, and someone takes a shot, hits my left shin pad. Blocked it clean, didn't even make a face. Get back to the bench, they're like, yeah, way to go, way to block a shot! Because they knew that would be the most productive thing I would accomplish in that game. But it didn't matter. I even set up a pretty good scoring chance. Didn't go in, but the opportunity was there. All I know is on this day, I successfully completed a pass, I won a face-off, and I blocked the shot. Not bad for a first day. And I didn't really get to this enough in the last LFR that I admittedly rushed through, and I'm sorry. Eric Lindros really meant everything he said when it came to supporting this charity. You can tell in every word that he spoke. He put so much time aside for the kids, and when he said the amount of money that was raised, $310,000 by the way, and counting, he sounded so happy, so proud. And after the game, I made sure to tell him that. I was like, you sounded very genuine. I can tell this means a lot to you. I want to thank you very much because this charity helped out me and my family when I was younger. And this is a great thing you're doing. And he shook my hand, said thank you very much, and wanted me to come back next year. Twist my arm. Yeah, but you know, next year, that'll be like my 2nd time playing hockey, so it'll be like old hat by then. And you know what? It was a great cause. It was an irreplaceable experience. I finally got to play hockey. I got to play it with former NHL players. We got to raise money for a good cause. But you know what? Next year, I'd like to win a game or two. I'd like to get a shot on goal. I'd like to get a goal, or at least an assist. I'll take secondary, I'm not picky. So I think the solution here is I gotta learn how to play. Just goes to show, you're never too old. And I should say, there was another guy on my team, it was his first time playing hockey, and he was even older than I am. You're never too old. Borrow equipment if you have to. Join a casual game of shinny, hopefully someone's got a stick for you. Try to get a helmet and some skates. For everyone who supported me through this journey, thank you so much, you made this dream possible. I'd read each and every one of your names, but that would take a really long time because at last count there were like 80 of you. But you know who you are, and no matter how much money you donated, if you donated, just know you did a great thing, and I love you for it. Thank you so much. If you'd like to donate too, once again, I'm gonna put the link down below. Let's break $3,000. Why not? We're almost there. Or how about let's break $5,000? Because the person you liked the least said that we couldn't do it. Regardless of what number you get to, thank you very much. And it was great to finally say that I've #played the game.